Hello, 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 hello. So this video, I am sharing something pretty vulnerable. In case you haven't noticed, I am currently experiencing a journey through eczema. Now, this is a journey that, I'll start with when I was in my early 20s, or maybe no, it was my late 20s. I discovered I started to have these skin rashes. They were sort of right on my thigh, and I didn't know what it was. This is, over 20 years ago. I was living in Los Angeles, and I went to many doctors, and they gave me all different kinds of creams. They told me it could be anything. Literally, it could be your detergent, it could be something you're eating, it could be environmental, right? So there was just this like guessing game of what it could be. So I would put the little creams on, it would help for a while, and then guess what? It would show up again. Until I really just followed an instinct, and I went to see a nutritionist, and she told me it's something that you're putting in your body. So we did this whole elimination diet. Now this is, again, back 20 something years ago when nobody was talking like this, right? So we eliminated everything, right? Gluten, meat, cheese, fish, anything that could possibly cause any sort of inflammation in the body. And then we slowly reintroduced these foods back into my system. And she told me, what you have is candida. I was like, what the hell is candida? She's like, that is an overproduction of yeast in the body, which then the body can no longer digest, and so it sort of pushes it through in the form of these like skin rashes, right? So I was like, okay, so this is, again, back in the day when nobody knew what gluten-free was. I was the big weirdo at the table going, can I just have a chicken breast and vegetables? And it was not fun, because I was like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life eating like this. It's just, I love food, So long story short, the rashes went away. Everybody was telling me how great I looked because I'm eating like basically only natural foods. And I just remember feeling like, God, it sucks. It sucks that everybody else can have cake and all these things. And one day I just wish they would make a gluten-free cake, which, lo and behold, they did, right? So anyways, cut to, I moved to New York, and I was like, at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy myself. And so I ate everything in New York, the muffins, the pizza, all the things, right? And then what came back were skin rashes. I'm like, oh, here we go again. So I was really good, no sugar, no gluten. Then of course they went away. And then this became the cycle, back and forth. I would eat whatever I wanted, and then they would come back. And then until, I want to say, maybe the later part of my years in New York, where I guess I sort of had a handle on it, or my, your body changes every 7 years or so. So anyways, cut to last October, I all of a sudden started to see these skin rashes just show up on my neck. And I was like, that's weird, because normally, from what I remember, they would always show up above my, my thighs or whatever. So, but I was like, I know what this is. And it makes sense, right? I'm living in Paris. I'm eating all the bread. Why wouldn't I, right? So I'm eating all the bread, all the things, and then this shows up, and I'm like, God damn it. Now I gotta not have any bread. I gotta be gluten-free. I can't have sugar, la, 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 la. And I started to eat this way, and I realized it's not really going away. And it's starting to increase. And I'm like, So I go to the doctor, or actually, no, before I do that, I went to a pharmacist, because the pharmacists here are really, they know they know a lot like doctors. And so I asked, and she's like, this is actually caused by stress. This is eczema. It's stress induced. And I'm thinking, I'm not stressed. Me? Stressed? I am like so calm, cool, collected, la, 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 not thinking like, hello, my journey of surrender, leaving my apartment with nowhere to go, just living, in surrender, allowing life to yield to me the next new opportunity, the next home, la, la, la. oh, I'm not stressed. But here's the interesting thing. You know, we develop these coping mechanisms as children where we either repress our emotions, we numb ourselves, we, do all sorts of things because we're taught, just modeled by our parents, how to handle emotions. And so for me, I didn't know this because, hello, it was a really good coping mechanism. I just really numbed. So my body was so used to numbing any sort of stress or anxiety, so much so that half the time I think I'm fine. And my body is obviously telling me a different story. So here we are. As you see, I'm sharing this in real time because I want to just be so transparent and just eliminate any sort of shame, any sort of feeling of feeling self-conscious or anything like that, and really kind of shine a light because clearly my body feels safe enough, because that's the key. My body feels safe enough to show me what it's really feeling. This is actually a good sign because I believe that everything is here for me. Everything here has value. Everything here is a gift, including and especially things like eczema or whatever sort of dis-ease. It's just letting us know that there's some sort of imbalance in the body. And how am I supposed to know that this coping mechanism that I've had my whole life no longer is serving me, right? And so I look a little glossy because I have been healing. I've been moving through this in a natural way. So I'm using coconut oil because it does itch, like, especially if you're somebody watching this and is going through your own healing journey with eczema. And what I find really fascinating about this whole journey is that it really does get worse before it gets better. And so there's this misconception and so many personal development, spirituality, manifestation, whatever you want to call it, kind of jargon, like, a lot of people talking about this stuff, where it's like, people talk about getting to the end result like super fast, or they just skip through these aspects of the journey. And so I'm sharing this in particular to let you know I'm not afraid of this. It's more, I know that this is a gift and this is here for me, and it's my body kind of recalibrating to create the harmony and balance that I have been instilling, right? With this sense of I am abundant, right? I am safe. And all I need to do is lean back and trust and continue to step into the unknown. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's very anxiety driven, of course, right? Because anxiety is just basically stress. It's just kind of stressing out over some future that is a potential. And because a home is so rooted in our survival, that's what gets triggered is my survival instinct. So it turns on, it gets into fight or flight. And this is sort of a result, right? And so, so I just find that you can't change anything until you fully accept it. And I really do want to share the entirety of this journey. I don't want to hide. I don't think that's serving me, and I feel that, as I move through this stuff and as I, come out on the other side and I'm able to, I know this is temporary, and when I do start to see that evidence of the healing, I can point back and say, look, like, this is what I did. And also everybody is different, right? That's also a big part of this journey. And so to remember that as well. But yeah, I just rarely see videos of people in the journey. I only see people like way after the fact when they've, met the partner, had the $1 million, la, 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 la. And this is really a journey about being honest and not hiding, and And I know why too, because something came up about a month ago where I was in a position that was a big, big fear of mine, which was I didn't know where I was going to sleep. I didn't have a place lined up. And I had about 4 or 5 hours where everything was kicked up, like all the anxiety, all the fear. And it was so fascinating because what I realized is it wasn't just about this one circumstance. It's like I saw flashes of the past, like frozen pictures of like all the times in my life where I didn't feel safe, where I didn't feel protected. It was all showing up now. And I know why, because that is what I meant to feel and then heal. And how do we heal anything? We restore it back to balance. So usually when I say frozen picture, it's sort of like this trauma, right? That wasn't fully processed, because when we're children, we don't have the mechanism to process it all. And we kind of keep reliving similar circumstances in our lives to learn to process it or delayer it, right? It's sort of like this big onion. So it was fascinating for me to witness, like, oh, this isn't about not having a home. This is about all the times I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel welcomed. I felt like I was a burden. It was just like all of these things combined in this one, 24-hour period. And obviously I have a place, you know what I mean? So everything worked out, but it was scary. And I thought I moved through it. I mean, I did move through it as best as I could, but there was still stuff, So I believe all of this is here for me, and I want to showcase it. I want to share. I still look cute, and I'm trusting the journey, that all of this is here for me. I'm trusting that I have within me every possible solution to this and all the other ailments and all the other situations in my life, kind of thing. And so if the solution has not shown itself to me, then it's just not ready, And I think part of this whole journey is just to be comfortable in the not knowing and to trust in the timing. So with that, I want to say thank you for listening. And if you are going on a similar journey, please share in the comments. I would love to hear. Sending you guys so much love on this Friday. I'm going to go enjoy the sunshine out in Paris. Take care. Au revoir.